Too bad James Earl Jones can't be back.
Okay, hold on. Are we...
I'm going to pause this for an edit point also. I'm not sure if James Earl Jones is still alive.
I think he is. I haven't heard anything.
We might have to take that joke out. Okay. That's going to be a sound clip.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Cog Talk, a podcast brought to you by Cogstop Productions, home of podcasts, tabletop, and geek talk. 12 Years Hollow, the Cog Talk theme, is written and performed by Bear Ghost. To listen to this track and more, check out www.facebook.com/BearGhostAttacks. Hi, welcome to Cog Talk, a Cogstop Productions podcast. I'm Pat.
I'm Scott.
I'm Josh.
And today we are recording from... space!
Nope.
Space.
Nope.
Space!
Nerds
Space.
in space.
No.
Space.
Well, on technicality, I guess I'll let you guys have this one because Earth is in space. But we're also on Earth, in the
space.
United States, in Arizona, in the area of Glendale,
We are in space.
and in a garage,
Space.
which is all in space.
Sorry, I just
And
learned
time.
about an Easter egg the other day, which is actually going to be one of our topics that involves space. Space. And Skyrim. So, more importantly, let's go to our Facebook page and check out those awesome beatdowns that we were talking about earlier this week.
I was so upset I couldn't put mine in.
Yes.
I was having issues.
We would ignore yours anyways.
I'm sure you would.
They came in late.
Yeah.
So, we got some great responses. We actually had over about 40 hits on our shared posts about this. Some of them were us replying, things like that, but we had a decent amount of lineups. Someone actually spammed a whole shitload of lineups in ours, so it made it really hard to choose our top three.
Yep.
So, let's get into the top three. First of all, giving this one out to Brian Alton. He submitted a great one to us. Solid Snake versus Punisher. The topic was video game character versus comic character. So this is video game character Snake versus a comic book character of the Punisher.
Which obviously goes to Punisher.
And, in my mind, they both had good and bad points. Snake had a mullet and a little bit of a, oh god, my life complex. At the same time, Punisher teamed up with Eminem in a comic series.
He also killed demons with angel guns.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but Snake has a box.
Yeah, and he also gets an exclamation point when he's being spotted. Therefore, Punisher's going to shoot him when he's too busy going,
That's only when he's spotted by soldiers. Not everyone gets the exclamation point.
Are you saying the Punisher isn't a soldier?
I'm saying that he's not a genome soldier that specifically had that DNA etched in him that would give him explanation point telekinesis.
My vote goes to Snake.
Yeah, he did not get the emote gene.
Punisher.
I want to see one of them eat a sandwich and get a smiley face, like a little, or they flirt with someone and there's like the semicolon parenthesis, like winky face. That would be brilliant. I love Snake. He's a badass. He's got, tons of warfare. He's the perfect soldier's clone. And, he's just an overall badass. However, I do have to also give it to Punisher. I gotta side with Josh on this one. Reason being, angel guns. Like, as soon as he said
Are we
angel...
giving him angel guns
No.
in the fight?
No,
It is in the comic series, so therefore that is something that he could have. If you went straight soldier for soldier fight...
That's what I'm going is no extras, no DLCs, nothing like that. It is Punisher versus Snake. You put them in a warehouse. They have what is around them. and their basic equipment being a tranq gun, a pistol for Snake, and a shotgun, an assault rifle, a pistol, and a knife for Punisher.
A knife that also shoots the blade out, too.
That's movie. I never saw that in the comic books.
It was in the comics.
It was.
He had a lot of I wouldn't go to the
Trick weapons?
shtick of trick weapons, but a lot of those kind of plot convenient weapons where it's like, by the way, my knife's also a grenade.
Yeah. So
a knife.
Yeah.
That, let's say, it's a switch that the blade shoots out. That
another
fight...
switch, it blows up.
No.
And
Fight...
to be fair, to throw this kind of bombshell out there, the Punisher came back from death itself.
He didn't actually... Well, he might have died.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came back fighting hard, and Snake is aging rapidly. Now, if we wanted to go with who would live longer, it would be the Punisher immediately after Snake died. If Snake didn't complete his mission and Fox died, killed the whole fucking planet. Punisher, I don't care how many angel guns you have, that's not going to fucking help you. You're diseased, you're dead.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that one, but more specifically, if you're talking one-on-one fight, what is the point of Metal Gear Solid's movement throughout the world?
It's sneak.
It's sneak.
It's don't be seen, and holds and submissions.
Yeah.
Would be his fighting style.
Whereas Punisher,
Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson.
no.
Yeah,
No.
You've got the quick mover floating around, getting those
You're
short
implying
jabs
that
in.
Punisher himself is not quick.
Not as quick as Snake would be.
Frank Castle's a little bit beefier. He doesn't have the refined CQC fighting style. But in the end, I still got to give it to Punisher because Punisher is... he doesn't really give a fuck about collateral damage.
All right. Well, I just wanted to throw it in there, give a good argument.
I
for
love Snake, and it hurts me to say this, but against Punisher, I don't think that he stands a chance because he's spry. He's
He was young 5 minutes ago.
He was young. Every now and then he hits himself with an adrenaline shot and becomes young again because that's an awesome game mechanic in Metal Gear Solid 4. But I don't think that he has it in him to beat the Punisher, especially when the Punisher is like a knife fight and he brought a minigun. Because the Punisher's an asshole and he'll just bring the biggest gun that he can fit.
Yeah. He's all about overkill because
Or
he
just
wants to kill.
Or just to be funny, he'll bring a knife to a gunfight and then shoot you in the neck with it.
Yeah. Fuck you, Frank Castle. Second one, we got to go with this big fight that Michael Gibson put out on our Facebook, and he even gave himself a little handicap in it. Bahamut from Final Fantasy, that's our video game, versus the Avengers minus Hulk.
Okay. I can see how this fight goes.
Well, let's classify the Avengers because we don't want it to be 57 people going after Bahamut. So
Yeah.
57 minus the 50.
we'll go with the core cast, which is pretty much what you see in the movies nowadays. So you got your Iron Man, your Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
We won't throw in Hulk because he took Hulk out for it.
Yeah.
And we won't throw in Ant-Man because he's an asshole. And who the fuck is Black Panther?
Fuck you, Black Panther's awesome.
Oh, Black Panther is awesome. I'm just saying. He's too busy in Wakanda doing shit to worry about, big dragon firing lasers.
I can see how this fight goes. Hawkeye's about to get taken out. Cap sacrifices himself.
Yep, that's
Cap
a given.
goes down first.
Cap is definitely the first one dead in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Then Black Widow. Then Hawkeye. Then Iron Man goes down. And it ends up being a fight between Thor and Bahamut. But Bahamut's taken enough of a beating that it's almost equal playing field. But I would, and that point, I'd have to give it to Thor. Because I know he's not immortal. He can be killed. But he's powerful and he's durable as shit. I think as the others could do enough damage to Bahamut, Thor could take him down.
See, this is where I'm going to get into my Final Fantasy nerd mode, because I've played the game series. I love the game series. Bahamut is OP. I mean, even going with bear-based Bahamut, let's say Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 10, so fuck the possibility of Neo or Zero Bahamut firing lasers from space, which would fuck up every Avenger besides 2 of them that can fly, thus making it a 2-on-1 fight.
Technically, only one can fly. Thor just throws his hammer really hard with the strap around his wrist.
But
And goes with it.
the point is that he survives in space. If you threw Captain America in space, Captain America would be frozen again.
This time, I don't think he's coming back.
No. He is fucked. Bahamut's one of those few summons in Final Fantasy that can almost always go over the damage threshold. So, like, the game's programmed to say, like, at 9,999, you stop doing damage, you've hit them as hard as you can. Except if you're Bahamut. There's, like, I want to say maybe, like, only a quarter of the summons get to do that and go over their damage threshold. Big dragon with lasers. It's kind of like the Unibeam on steroids, and he gets to fire it whenever the fuck he wants. Because he is a giant dragon.
More so than that, all his attacks in the game, not all his attacks, but his major attacks are widespread. They hit multiple targets.
Yeah.
He doesn't single out. He's not like, I can only fire one beam. I fire out a beam that envelops the area.
Well, all Thor would have to do is pick up Cap's shield. He knows what that vibranium can do. And that would be
on that direct spot.
Yeah. So all he's got to do is, point it there and save his head. And it's fine.
What about the rest of his body that's not covered?
He can survive without it.
See, my picture of the situation, like you did, like the very pretty painting of how that would go in the beginning. In my mind, it would be like the Avengers are sitting there and Captain would be like, Avengers, assemble! And then Bahamut would be there like, I'm firing my laser. And they would be dead.
And then there would be no more Avengers.
It'd be Avengers disassembled.
On the atomic level?
On the atomic level.
Yeah. So I'm giving it to Bahamut too, just because the fact is there is a threshold in the game for damage. Like he said, that you cap out at this. You can do no better. Unless you're the king of all dragons, Bahamut. That says something about the power he's bringing.
And let's face it, Captain America was taken down by a bullet.
He's
A non-dragon firing laser, laser firing dragons. I'm making this so much worse for myself.
a non-dragon laser.
Yeah, it was a
Regular
bullet.
He's human. Thor is a god.
But Iron Man, Black Widow, and Hawkeye are also human.
Yes, the only reason Iron Man got so far is because he's got the armor, and chances are he'd been wearing like his Mark 20,000 that would be able to stand up to him for a while.
I don't know. I'm going Team Bahamut on this. I hope that Mike's going Team Bahamut too, because you gotta pick a winner. And I like the Avengers. I like Bahamut better.
I go Avengers on it.
Yeah, and if you just take the Bahamut stuff like further, you can go to D&D where Bahamut's a god.
Different Bahamut, though.
It is still represented by the blue dragon Bahamut.
Yes, but they're two different dragons.
Yeah,
No,
but and he is in a video game form. So if he was talking about D&D like online,
Oh, well then, no. Then
Bahamut?
in that case, Bahamut has it because Bahamut is literally a god who can disintegrate reality.
With what?
Thought.
lasers.
Lasers. Thought lasers.
Thought lasers! Activate! Blah! No, thought lasers would be like more cocky, like blah ha ha ha!
Yeah, if you can fire lasers from your mind, that would be awesome.
Mind bullets.
But
So-
mind lasers are better. Thought lasers are better than mind bullets.
Yes, of course. Lasers always beat bullets. Iron Man proved that in the Civil War series. Oh, that's a horrible joke. Speaking of horrible, Robert Zoe, Dick Rob from the podcast.
Big Rob.
Dick Rob.
Big Dick Rob?
Are you complimenting him on his size?
Oh, no, because I said Dick Rob, he said Big Rob. We throw them together.
It's
Big Dick Rob.
Yeah.
All right. Big Dick Rob.
Hey, that'll work. He sent us one that is absolutely fucking hilarious in my mind. And it's absolutely offensive, but we're going to take it for what it is. Because I believe that these guys deserve a chance. So, he is saying post-paralyzed Barbara Gordon,
Oh, God.
known as Oracle, so Batgirl in a wheelchair, versus Dr. B from Tekken, who was a secret character. If you didn't get to play as him, he has a disease that affects his spine, so every move that he does as he's hunched over tends to make him flail through the air and fall on his back. He is a fighting game character that can't stand up. Well, he can stand up, but limited time.
How does this fight go?
He uses a remote.
No, I'm saying, how do these two fight?
Well, think about it, because Batgirl, even though she doesn't have the athletic capability anymore, still has access to all those devices and is super intelligent. Meanwhile, Dr. B would have all the stuff at his disposal. I'm going to limit him to only one Jack, because he is the guy who built Jack in Tekken.
Yeah. Not only that, he's responsible for like his main nemesis, Brian.
Yep,
because
Brian
he puts
Fury.
a generator in him, and then
And he's got Yoshimitsu as a buddy.
yeah, like as far as friends go, if you have Yoshimitsu in your corner, you're pretty much golden.
Yeah, you have Yoshimitsu, and then you build Jacks.
Barbara has Batman.
Yoshimitsu.
Batman.
I'm sorry, Yoshimitsu, the guy who stabs himself and still lives.
Batman.
And if he stabs you while he stabs himself, he gets healthier.
Well, the true argument is Barbara versus B.
Yeah.
So, in terms of this, I have to, like, Dr. B has a slight advantage with, he can still fight. He actually, his fight style in the third one adopts a lot of the moves from other fighters.
Yep.
And it's just that he's using a remote to, like, pretty much program his body to do that before he collapses. However, Barbara has the advantage of knowing fight styles by being with Batman, and she has access to some of her gadgets.
Yeah. Not only that, it's like she's not going to walk into a fight unprepared.
She's not going to walk at all.
She's not going to roll into a fight unprepared because she's going to have learned that habit. So, and anyways, unlike as far as we know about Dr. B, he doesn't get better, whereas Barbara Gordon, we know in the future, can walk again.
Well, that's only actually because of the reboot. Little trivia fact. Did you know that the editors of DC did not want Barbara to be cured at all? She's only able to walk again in the new Bat series because of the reboot, the new 52.
I'm talking like the connection of the parallels between Batman Beyond and
the original
series.
Bat. Okay. Now I see
Which also is bridged by the whole thing with the evil government organization Cadmus.
Yep.
Who ends up creating the Batman Beyond kid by
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, thank you, Terry McGinnis, by using nanosperm.
Yeah.
From Bruce Wayne and putting it into Terry McGinnis's father's sack. Which
nanosperm. Yeah, in this one, I have to give it to Barbara Gordon. She's trained under the best. Even if Dr. B had a Jack with him, like let's say that he got a Jack unit, Barbara Gordon can outthink that in combat.
Yeah.
And she's got all her gizmos.
I'm sure he should have an EMP on her.
Exactly.
And that's if she decides to take it down and not have it assist her.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we can finally agree on one. I was going to say Barbara Gordon. Mainly because I don't know Dr. B, so I don't know how the matchup would go. But
he's a fun character in Tekken. It was fun to have these guys in a fight against each other because it's kind of it's a one-on-one. It's mainly a battle of the minds, where our other fights were a battle of force, and it's who's got the better tech, who's got the better gadgets, and Oracle would definitely win.
You say Battle of the Minds, but you didn't want to go Battle of the AI with Cortana Jarvis.
Cortana Jarvis, I'm sorry, like Robert Burns submitted that one. I will give a shout out to him. It would be hacking versus hacking.
It's two super smart computer AI systems, one from present day, one from the future, going at it.
You want to get into this? You want to get into this?
Well, no, we were only going to do 3. We'll have this conversation.
You want to get into
All right,
this?
yeah,
I think
let's get into it.
Let's get into this. All right.
All right.
Robert Burns submitted one for us, which was Cortana versus Jarvis. We're going to assume that these AIs that typically help out their protagonists are gone. Is that what we're doing? Or does Cortana get Master Chief and Jarvis gets Iron Man?
I would have to say it's just Cortana Jarvis.
Okay, because otherwise Iron Man would fly Master Chief's ass up into space and just leave him.
I can point out that both suits can work autonomously. The Master Chief suit is hydraulics, and she just manages life support system as well as like the basic commands for following up on his movements.
Yeah, but do we want this to come down to a fight, Master Chief against Iron Man?
That's what it would come to.
Yeah, and
So
that's
no,
the problem.
this is Jarvis versus Cortana in the virtual world, if they were going to have a physical form.
I'm going to argue against both of them right now with this statement. Jarvis can't stop being hacked. Every villain that goes after Iron Man and tech disables Jarvis in some way. Fucks him up, corrupts him, does whatever he can to fuck up Jarvis. Cortana can't keep herself together. Literally. In Halo 4, she is splitting her AI apart. She's pretty much like overclocking herself.
Oh, she's reached her death point. AIs in Halo live for 7 years, I think, and it's been 9. So she is over her expected lifespan. At 7 years, Halo AI break down, become crazy, and they are shut down before they can do any harm. Cortana survived 2 years beyond that. No, a year beyond that. And while Master Chief was in stasis between 3 and 4 is when she went crazy. And even then, she could still hold herself together enough to help him.
But that's because she picked up code from the Covenant AIs to split and fragment.
I'm going to make the argument. I'm going to put my foot down and say Team Jarvis right now. Reason being is Jarvis holds more capability, from what I've seen, than Cortana does. Cortana is able to jump into things, hack a couple things. It takes a little bit. Master Chief's got to protect her while she's hacking the things, so on and so forth. Whereas Jarvis can control multiple Iron Man suits at one time, which shows that he's got a better processing power in my mind. He can fly jets, he can AI, he can search for things, he can find structural weaknesses. Jarvis seems to work at a higher rate without having the kind of personality flaws that Cortana has, where Cortana is like emotionally connected. Jarvis is straight up logic. And in my mind, logic always beats emotion when it comes to battles.
Now, this is where I'm going to go. I'm going Cortana, not because, I've got a thing for her or anything. It's because... I'm going Cortana because, while yes, Jarvis can use all these different things, he can control multiple combat suits and jets and all that, Cortana is smarter than him. And she only needs her one mind to beat him. She doesn't need to split her processing power. She can dedicate everything to this one combat. And the reason she's emotional is because she was created from a portion of Dr. Halsey's brain, correct? It was brain tissue turned into manufactured and fucked with to make
like a
AI.
neurological scan.
Yeah, but she's the only AI to be made from a human brain. Therefore, she has the imagination of a human, which is literally unlimited.
I'm just gonna go Jarvis because ultimately, Jarvis always gets back. He may get hacked, he may get shut down, but he comes back from every beatdown.
So does Cortana.
Except he's not programmed with a death day.
And she didn't survive the last one.
So far as we know. We don't know because Halo 5 hasn't come out yet. She is going to survive, I guarantee you. I'm calling it right now. It's, June 27th, 2014. Cortana's going to come back in 5 at the end, and it's going to be an all-out war in 6.
I disagree. It's going to go the way of not the Nutty Professor, but the Absent-Minded Professor with Robin Williams, where his AI dies, and it built him a daughter of itself. That's what he's going to get. That's what Master Chief's going to get, is Cortana's daughter.
Flubber?
Yes,
Master
Flubber.
Chief is going to get a baby chief?
It's going to get a baby AI.
No. It will not go that way. It has to go Cortana.
Yeah, he's going to have a baby. It's going to look like a mixture of Cortana and Master Chief.
Ew.
Very ew.
Ew. It's just a very hot-bodied woman with a gold visor for a face. And zero expression or tone, like, oh baby, finish this fight.
All right, this one is not going to be ended here with a 2 versus 1 because we're going to continue this with multiple people because I'm sticking to this one. Cortana wins.
No.
I guarantee you.
You know, she died.
You know what? Okay, then let's get what's that computer program that they were using on Deadliest Warrior? Let's see if we can find one of those, and we will put Cortana versus Jarvis.
Do you have the stats for either of them?
We can
do
get
you
the
know the
stats.
math that's necessary to run those simulations?
First of all, Deadliest Warrior says that zombies beat vampires, and that's straight up.
That was actually a tie.
No, vampires won.
Either way,
Because
it
zombies
was a-
did not have enough numbers. They only needed like 10 more to outlast the killing speed of the vampire.
It was numbers, yes, but technically, because they don't know what the zombie virus does to vampires, it was considered a tie because of the virus.
either way, I got a better system than the Deadliest Warrior system because those guys are no longer on the air, if I remember
enough.
correctly.
Yeah, not that I know of.
I have the power of the people. We will put a poll at the end of this show. You can check it out at cogsopproductions.com or our Facebook at cogsopproductions or our Twitter at cog_stop. We will put it up to you, the audience. Vote Cortana or Jarvis. Who wins? You can catch that as soon as the show releases.
There you go.
Does that make you feel better?
That'll work for me.
Now you can see many people vote for Jarvis.
And you'll see more people vote for Cortana. Do you know why they'll vote for Cortana? Boobs.
There's no physical form. More
She
so
has-
than
she
that,
still has boobs.
You know what Jarvis actually has that Cortana can't actually have? A British voice.
And a win.
Cortana could totally have a British
She
voice.
could have a British voice, but what I mean is she has never spoke with a British accent. She never has physical boobs. Therefore, Jarvis wins because he actually has something attractive.
Only because it was programmed. If she wanted, she could choose. He can't choose not to have it or to have it. She can choose to have it. She chooses not to because she's sexy enough without it.
I'm ending this fight right now with bitch had buck teeth.
Well, that's Master Chief.
No. She straight up had buck teeth in 4.
Yeah, Master Chief's a
She
ginger.
she had like chiclets for teeth.
Okay.
Check out the
Anyways.
screen cap so you can see it. It was the one thing I couldn't stop staring at. Hey, that sounds like this is about the center point of our show, so we're going to plug something. And that plug is going to be Geeky Gamer Girls Podcast, a Cogsop Productions podcast. You may have heard of this Friday. You should check it out next Friday after this release. These girls are awesome. They finally get the chance to talk. And more importantly, boobs. As Scott said it, that's the argument that's going to win everything over. It'll win every fight. It'll cure cancer. It'll resurrect Jesus. Boobs. And you can catch boobs at Geeky Gamer Girls Podcast on the Cogstop page or on their Facebook at G3P and on Twitter at G3P_Cogstop. Boobs.
Shame.
No shame.
There is no shame there.
So, Josh, it is your turn for a topic.
My turn for a topic? You know what? Alright, I got one. We've all seen movies. We all watch them. We all care about the characters and as well as TV shows, but more importantly, movies.
Not all the time, but yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
You'll watch and you'll like, oh, I want that person to win. I want them to kick that person's ass. I don't want that person's ass kicked because they're a sweetheart. But more so than that, I believe that movies also affect us on how we make decisions. I personally, and this is me, I now no longer drive near anything carrying large loads of anything. So lumber, pipe, cement, on the freeway or even otherwise.
I know what you're going
because
for.
Final Destination 2, that scene, done. I'm not the cop.
The cop got it, like, when it comes to the logs themselves, I think that the cop got it the absolute worst. He got it straight to the face. And it's so funny because I was just watching I recently was watching an edited TV version of that, and they don't show it going through the front of the car. They absolutely refuse to show it going through the front of the car. I don't know why, but they still showed it blowing out of the back of the car.
That's a long-ass sequence to cut out. That's like, what, 5 seconds?
It was actually it's a lot quicker than you think. So when they showed the edit, I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't show go through the front windshield. Yeah. They showed his face going, oh shit, which, if you watch it again, is the worst CGI paste over. Like, you can see it skipping and stuff like that, but it's great still. But I agree with you. Like, I fucking absolutely refuse to drive behind those trucks now.
But I disagree that he got it the worst. He got it the fastest. Let's be honest.
No, not necessarily.
As big
as that thing is, there's no saying that he died instantly.
When it came out the backside
and had brain matter,
yeah, it was carrying head,
not necessarily brain matter, because it crushed him from about mid-chest up, which means it took off mid-chest up. The brain, no matter how damaged, will still stay alive.
Instant loss of pressure, unconsciousness.
But it's still alive.
Well, to be fair, he got it way easier than the guy that had crashed his car and was burning to death in his car screaming before he was run over by the big rig.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like, that guy got hooked up. I know that the one... Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off, Scott. What's a movie thing that's affected your life and your decisions?
Honestly, I'd have to go with a more recent movie, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Surprisingly a good movie. I really liked it.
It's an incredibly good movie. It's not really one of the movies that I go to a lot. You know, it's one of the based on a true stories. It's one of the based on a true stories. It's one of the feel good, get up and do something with your life, make different decisions, do what you want.
Carry a briefcase.
Carry a briefcase. And if you notice, now I carry a briefcase.
I know you do. That's why it's so funny.
And it made me decide to, try some new things. I've always had this thing about trying to be on time or trying to be early. So now I try to, just catch the cusp of that. I don't want to be late, but maybe I don't want to be on time all the time. See how that works out for me.
I think you're just using it as an excuse because you were late today.
You can't prove that.
I can prove that. Because I've got plenty of phone calls and text messages saying, where the fuck are you? Scott, are you alive? Scott, come in, Scott. I never got
the are you alive.
Can I point out the logical fallacy here of the only thing you can be other than not on time and not be late is early? You've cornered yourself.
By perspective.
Yeah.
You're either on time or late.
Well, no, for
early.
No, I'm saying, like, if he doesn't want to be early anymore, he's either on time or late.
Yeah.
And there's a 1 minute window of on time.
Yeah.
It's like a souffle. If you fuck that up, you fucked it up. But I do agree. I think that movie was a nice movie in the terms of, kind of getting up, getting out in your life, and breaking out of your kind of day-to-day routine.
Yeah. Get up and go do something, travel, go somewhere, do something.
Take a picture of snow leopards.
That wasn't him, that was his friend.
Yeah, well, that guy was the example of living your life. The movie that I have to say that kind of affected my decision-making and kind of things in my life has to be... Oh boy, I'm brain farting. I'm going to go with the easy one. Ready to Rumble. With David Arquette and Oliver Platt. The way that it changed my life is that movie was just so off-the-wall goofy that it's one of those movies, like, I can always go back to watch Pulp Fiction. I can always go back to watch Snatch. But Ready to Rumble, I will drop what I'm doing that day and watch it. And it's just one of those, it's from a filmmaking perspective and just a writing perspective that it was so fun and it was so goofy that it's very lighthearted. It's kind of like, yeah, it's about wrestling. Yeah, it's about, getting hit in the dick jokes. And yeah, it's about, just kind of being almost slapstick.
Okay.
But it's still good. It's still fun. And that affected my days with, like, I'll go for easier jokes now. Like, you can try and be, like, meta, and you can try and do, like, the hipster thing and make the really obscure joke about that, you know, Flaming Lips song that was on the EP and, you know, the demo, but not on any major releases, because fuck that. Or you can just go with the easy dick joke. And I firmly stand by dick jokes. By firm dick jokes.
You're reaffirming.
I'm
your love for
reaffirming.
dick jokes.
They can sometimes be hard. They don't come easy. But dick jokes are there.
I love you, Pat.
Thank you. I am an American. And that should be my campaign for, you know, Patrick Tracy 2016.
You can't run for president yet. You have to be at least 35.
And want to run for president?
And what?
4.
34?
Weird age.
Yeah.
But people didn't live long back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah,
Lincoln.
you only got half a term. If you went for too many terms, like Lincoln, you get put down. What? I'm in for offensive jokes this time. We did a Barbara Gordon joke. I'm gonna fucking make every bad joke I can.
At least it wasn't a Kennedy joke.
He had it coming. And it served an important purpose, because you notice that presidents still go to theaters, but no president has a convertible anymore.
That's incredibly true.
Yes. A noble sacrifice. But we're going to put that to the back and to the left of history. Oh, I am up for all kinds of awful. Speaking of awful, Josh also brought up that Arnie, like I know the guy, like Arnie! Arnold Schwarzenegger's IMDB page is looking amazing and amazingly bad at the same time.
I have it up right now, and while I don't have IMDb doesn't have it on their website, they have it on their app. It is called The Governator.
Yes.
I don't care what it's about. I want to see it, but it sounds terrible.
I think it might be animated because it's him as the voice of the Governator.
Oh my god, it's that TV series. They did a fake trailer for it. You can catch it on YouTube. Just actually look up Governator. You can find I think it's like a 3 to 5 minute pitch of an Arnold Schwarzenegger animated feature, kind of like Jackie Chan's Animated Adventures.
Oh no.
And it looks ridiculously awesome. Like, it looks absolutely amazing. I know that we saw that one, and we also saw some really bad kind of like franchises being rebooted. Like, some of them were good. Like, I heard about the new Terminator that he wants to be in, but what were some of the other ones?
It's not that he wants to be in. It's already in post-production, according to IMDb.
So he's already done it. It's already been done and waiting for release.
And it's Terminator Genesis. This is actually a big thing for a lot of Matt Smith fans from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Because he's in it.
Have they announced what his role is?
No, it is still blank. I'm thinking he is the face of Skynet.
That would be so awesome because he had that one episode of Doctor Who where it was the Cyberman master or the Cyberman main brain that tried to take over his body and the back and forth between him. It was on the moon.
Yeah, no, he wasn't the
Mainframe?
cyber master. He was like architect.
The architect, yeah. But that would be perfect if he was the face of Skynet. Oh, I can see that.
It is blank under Matt Smith. But we know he went bald for this role.
Yes, he did.
And that says to me mocap. The little nodes all over the face and head.
Well, did he go bald for the role, or did he just decide he was going to shave his head because that's a doctor thing, but he went completely bald because of...
It might have been.
Amy Pond. I forgot.
But they were at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So mine is the mocap CGI pickup for to be the face of Skynet. Again, it has nothing there. It is blank. Everyone else has their names. Even the two versions of people who are involved both in the past and in the future.
Oh.
You see, it's a weird time that we live in when it's like, you remember that 90s action star that was super big and, really muscular? Yeah, we're going to put him with one of the Doctor Who actors.
No, not just the Doctor Who actors, but in my opinion, like the lankiest, like tiniest one.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
He's
David Tennant.
How tall?
Oh, no, like
Tennant-
proportionally lanky. Like, David Tennant was a short guy, but he's kind of like...
He's not that short. He's like 5'10", 5'11".
But he seemed thicker, and then Matt Smith is kind of like Slender Man-esque.
He was the twig. David Tennant was they actually call him the twig, and the skinny boy, the skinny man. He is the skinny doctor. Matt Smith, he's proportionally big.
It might have been the clothing then it might have been the clothing then, because to me, it made him look like he was... I don't want to say sickly. That's a very poor term, because I actually liked Matt Smith.
Athletic?
Not athletic either, but just lanky, just long. Like Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
Like Bo Burnham's kind of like, he's very tall, but he's also really thin for being that tall.
Yeah.
So he just seems like he's got like really small arms and really big hands.
I guess that's a perspective thing. I don't see it.
Yeah. Then again, I've also haven't seen a lot of Doctor Who, so I get the passing glances at him where you as a Doctor Who fan see him constantly, and that becomes norm for you. Like, if I showed someone, like, hey, this was Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s, they'd be like, that guy's fucking huge! But, like, I see Arnold Schwarzenegger now, it's like, Arnie, you kind of losing the shape a little bit,
Please, Arnie, don't kill our friend. He might run you over with a tank.
Spending a lot of time, with his tank.
I was going to say, if Arnie killed me, I would at least get to meet Arnie. He was always a big childhood hero of mine.
Oh, yeah.
Except for some movies, like Twins, which I heard is getting a sequel.
Unfortunately, yes.
Wait, let me guess. It's the sequel. It's Arnie and Danny DeVito.
Uh-huh.
And since it's triplets, there's a third. And just because this is how the way that movies go, the third one is black. And I'm going to say it's either Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy.
Good job trying to sound psychic, but we know that's not true.
Because we talked about it yesterday. We're calling you out, Scott. Yes, it is Eddie Murphy.
I was playing for the podcast.
It's Eddie Murphy. I can double check, but I just don't understand. Like, I understand the premise of Twins, where it's Arnie's character Julius has all the amazing genes.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the ideal human out of that gene set. Like, he was the best that he could be. And then Danny DeVito, who I love, but he got the shit genes. He got the leftovers. So, like, if there was, like, the genes to be incredibly, athletic and strong, and then the opposite of that gene was to be little pudgy and look like the Penguin from Batman, Danny DeVito got the Penguin genes.
Vincent.
Yeah. And they did this for all of it, so that questions, is Eddie Murphy, like, what happened after Danny DeVito got all the shitty genes, and then there was just, like, something left over, and it was Eddie Murphy's career, and then they made an Eddie Murphy out of it?
Like, oh shit, there's an embryo growing on the ground?
I don't know. I probably won't watch it.
Because is he going to be a con man that's like, I'm your brother? And, like, kind of, like, trying to, like, slide in with the duo?
The thing is, they don't have a name for him yet on IMDb. But they're both Vincent and Julius Benedict, Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that's what really bothers me about this movie, is because at the end is like they're supposed to reconcile with their father, who is basically head scientist. And like he's supposed to have opened up about everything, which just this movie makes him a liar again. Like, by the way, there was a third one.
Yeah, and it's like, what, 15, 20 years after the fact of like, hey, so I've been keeping another secret from you. Is that actor still even alive that played his dad?
He's not on the list. It's only those three, as far as I've seen. But I have no idea if he's still alive.
Who's the actor? I will look it up.
Yeah. Well, while you talk about that, I want to spin this off into another Arnold Schwarzenegger topic. Oh, you had one more?
Oh, no. I was going to say, and if you don't like killer robots from the future coming back to haunt the past, then you can always go with another classic of Arnie. Conan the Barbarian.
Yes, you killed my mother. You killed my father.
All right. So I don't know if we're just kind of glancing over the other movie on that list, The Toxic Avenger.
Ooh, yes. And I forget the studio who's responsible for all those like weird niche movies.
Miramax?
No.
U-Bowl.
No. They do all those films, and they're responsible for the Toxic Avengers series, and then what was it, like Kimono Man or?
Kimono Man?
No, yeah, and he's a police officer. Kabuki Man. Sorry. Kabuki Man NYPD. Watch it. It is hilarious.
I know what the Rule 34 of Kabuki Man is.
Geisha girl.
Bukaki Man.
Oh God, no! Stop! Why? Oh, for the love of Christ and all that's holy. Why would you do that to me?
Because it was worth it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Now I just have the thoughts in my head going like, you have the right to be glazed.
And I'm going to get the name right this third time. It's Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, and the company I was talking about is Troma.
Troma man.
Troma Entertainment, which are responsible for your Toxic Avenger and all kinds of other stuff. They're just weird, gory, like goof fests is all their movies are.
Okay. I've never seen the Toxic Avenger, to be perfectly honest.
I'm so sorry. Nerdy guy.
I've also never seen Sergeant Kabuki NYPD. Although, after your shining recommendation of it, I might have to. It's like a Santa with muscles kind of movie where it's like that needs to be seen.
Yes, it does need to be seen. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix. It was when I watched it.
Speaking of which, listeners, I just wanted, because, sorry, we just had that come up again. We still have not received a copy of Santa with Muscles. We would love to riff track this movie. If you can find us a DVD copy of this movie or an online resource where we can get the movie, please email it to cogstopproductions.com.
I will spend $5 and get a VCR if I have to.
Yes.
Don't have to. My mom has a VCR still. So we don't need to buy one.
I'm kind of a man, so I like to buy my own shit.
Like outdated technology. Do you want to get a laser disc reader too?
Yes.
Why not just say, hey, this person has a VCR, we're just going to use it.
It's pride.
I'm sure we can go to like a library and find a VCR somewhere.
I'm sure we could go to a pawn shop
Rent
and
one
find
for an hour.
Yeah, we can go to a Goodwill with a couple bucks in hand and get like a 5-track DVR changer with a fucking
A 5-track DVR changer?
VCR. Did I say DVR?
You said
said
DVR.
I'm sorry. My mind absolutely refuses to acknowledge that VCRs might still exist in the world. It's like tape, cassette. What the fuck's wrong with you? The only cassettes that ever got to stay around were the only cassettes that were allowed to stick around were the Nintendo cartridges. Otherwise, it's CDs.
So you're including the whole thing with the ET games being dug up?
Yes, that's so fucking
Put
creepy.
it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Now give it some love. Nintendo cartridges. It's like sex.
They did require a specific kind of maintenance for the NES.
A certain,
NES.
a certain loving touch.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of old Arnie movies, do you remember that scene from Last Action Hero? That Easter egg that they had?
Which one? Because there's multiples throughout that movie. I just got to watch it again, so they're all fresh in my mind. My favorite being, and I hope it's the one you're talking about, where you watch Robert Patrick exit the police station as Jack Slater, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is entering. And he has his I'm going to kill John Connor face on.
Yeah, looking like the T-1000. I was actually talking about the Easter egg where they go to the movie store to check out an Arnie movie. And instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger being the Terminator, it's now Sylvester Stallone.
There was a whole poster board thing made up for it, too.
Yeah, which I'm wondering if he had to consent for. But this leads me to the topic of what's your favorite Easter eggs in movies? Like, we talked about the Last Action Hero one. Scott, I know you mentioned Man of Steel earlier. Was there any good Easter eggs in Man of Steel?
There were quite a few Easter eggs, but my favorite is at the end. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, I guess. It's when they've got the terraforming machine, and Superman has to fly to the other side of the world, and he's underneath the gravity trying to fly his way up to destroy the machine. And he's on the ground, he's standing up, reaching up his arm, and you see the gravity distorting his face. There is one single frame in that where it switches from Henry Cavill, I think his name is.
Yeah, I think you actually got that right off the first shot.
Henry Cavill is switched, the face is switched to Christopher Reeve from Superman the movie. Yeah. It's a single frame. It's really easy to miss, but if you can get that frame by frame, you can catch it. It's really cool.
I think that's less of an Easter egg and more of a portent of Doom. He's going to ride a horse and get paralyzed.
Barbara Gordon style. No, that is we're on a bad
How am I the dark mind here, but you two are the ones sending out these jokes?
You were late. We had to compensate. Hence why we didn't let you get away with feigning ignorance before.
Oh, fuck you two.
Yep, yeah, we're dicking you this one. That's I think that's a really nice tribute considering Christopher Reeves and his, importance in the Superman kind of lore and legacy now.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice tip of the hat. I do appreciate Easter eggs like that. I also like Easter eggs that take a lot of attention to detail to catch. And one of my favorite ones of that has to be Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Because, we all know that there was the 7Xs. There's a lot of kind of like video game throwbacks, like he's playing the Final Fantasy theme on bass, stuff like that. One thing that was pointed out to me by my younger brother after the movie was that each person, each of the X's, are represented by a number, which we know. But in the movie, they're also represented by a number, too. So, for example, the first X, Matt Patel, you can only see one of his eyes because he was the first X. In addition to that, he's called that one guy by one of the members in the crowd.
Hey, it's that one guy.
And he poses by pointing into the air with one hand and stuff like that. Whereas you get to Lucas Lee, who was the second X, played by Chris Evans, and he was and he does a lot of things like it'll take 2 minutes to kick your ass. He has an even number of stunt doubles attack Scott, and that stairway has like 200 steps. And they get further and further in. Todd Ingram is in a 3-piece band. He has a 3 on his shirt, and his guitar actually has 3 X's on it to show that he was a third X. Fourth X had Roxy Richer, where they're fighting in a club called Four. I always fuck up these guys' name, but the twins.
Yeah.
When they crank up their music in the movie, they crank it up to 11 because they're numbers 5 and 6. Which it's also a nice Spinal Tap joke, but that could be a nice way of doing that. Also, they have 5 syllables in their last name and then 6 with the first name.
Okay, that was neat.
That's cool.
And then finally, Gideon, who's the main bad guy, his name Gideon, G, 7th letter of the alphabet.
And they call him G-Man.
Yep. And more importantly, one thing that I never noticed was Scott. Since he's not an X, Scott is represented by 0. If you notice, he drinks Coke Zero. Everyone calls him a Zero. And, some of his t-shirts also have 0 on it. Like they have the number 0 or something like that incorporated into it.
And he doesn't seem to have anything, like, of his own.
Exactly. And that was one of those attention to detail things, like when you watch Fight Club and you're able to catch, hints about the spoiler of it and about the plot twist. Once you're able to recognize that and you go back and you watch for it, it enriches the movie. You're like, holy shit.
That's
perfect.
A lot of detail.
Which it makes the whole thing with Nega Scott even more interesting, on a nerd level, because 0 itself isn't actually a number. It's because in order to be a number, you're usually negative or positive. And so you have Nega Scott, who probably represents positive aspect of 0, and Nega Scott, who represents the negative aspect of 0.
Yep. And then they went out.
Yeah,
And they
mid
had
stuff
breakfast.
Yep. Which was beautiful. Well, I think that's all we have time for today because I am talked out. We've made plenty of offensive jokes. We gave Scott shit. I'm feeling complete. How about you, Josh?
I feel like that we could do more, but I don't want to.
I could, but
We need to start a charity that says that. We feel like we could do more, but we're not. And then
Isn't that every charity?
yeah, and then like the quotations by "I'm really tired, guys." Anyways, this is Patrick Tracy signing off,
This is Scott Newbill.
And this is Josh.
saying bye and fuck you. For more episodes, updates, and other projects, check us out at cogstopproductions.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at cogstopproductions and follow us on Twitter at cog_stop.